going, bro. We hopped up on that bus. It's chill, Hight and Rogi. Glad you came to whip with us. Got no GPS or telling what we gon' discuss. Shout out Thompson Farms, they got the melons and the nuts. We like a trampoline, yeah, we jumping on this beat. Early morning shows, got the Crocs up on my feet. Don't worry about the fire, yeah, cause we will bring the heat. We on that yellow bus and we rolling down your street.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into another episode of the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley since 1905. We are your first and your only source for mediocre, below average, inconsistent sports coverage. Glad you're joining with us today. Stop right now, whatever you're doing. Lower your expectations and let us blow you away this morning. We've got a good crew here. You heard the original bus intro, and there's a reason for that this morning. So let's meet the gang that's in with us this morning. He's a Seminole for life. He's as disappointed as he can be. He's got a gullet that can store food for days at a time. He's lost a ton of weight, but he's still fat. He's got napkins for hands. He's big. He's sloppy. He is big. Raji.
I forgot all about the original. Yeah.
Man, that was good right there.
Wow.
That was good. Let's go, baby.
Get him up, Hight. Get him up.
Can you do it again? I didn't see.
What I do? We were at a UAB.
Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl. All right. That's how you look, though.
He is a UGA graduate. He's a diehard dog. He can make a bottle of mouthwash stink. His bottom row looks like he bit a brick. Everyone's an idiot compared to him. The one, the only pride of Buddy Johnson Road. Put your hands together for Adam Hoyt Hightower.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good to see y'all.
Good to see you, bud.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Tell him Hight real quick. Hunker down.
Hunker down, every dog.
Hunker down, every dog.
Hunker down for a fight.
Hunker down for a fight.
Gonna feel the bulldog bite.
Good. Got him out.
Oh, boy. It's too early in the morning for negativity, Raj. Okay.
It's perfect time for it. I wake up ready to be negative.
Oh, that bulldog.
It's easy on here, too.
Boys, I had a dream last night.
Uh-oh.
Please tell us.
Bulldog gonna bite this weekend.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That dog's gonna handle business. Yes, sir.
Calling it here first.
I'm calling it, baby.
No, they're not.
We're gonna get that in a minute. Y'all hold your thoughts on that.
You're an FSU fan. Nobody cares what you think about anything.
I'm just going off of what I've seen on film. And
What he knows.
Well, after my film session,
yeah, I sat down with John Gruden.
You and Ed sat down.
Yeah, me and Ed went on a FaceTime and watched the Mississippi State game. Bro, I don't understand why he's doing that ball, bro. I could do that. It's a stupid thing called Bobo.
Burning Bobo's house down.
Yeah.
That was good to me. Oh, man. But we do thank you for joining us this morning. Wherever you're listening, make sure you are subscribed. Give us a thumbs up, like, share, comment, whatever you want to do. But you can also find our episodes on www.thebiguglysportshow.com. So, a lot happening. Big weekend of college football last weekend. Big weekend, especially for the Dogs coming up. Some stuff going on in the NFL. And in segment 3, we have a very special guest coming in on the set to make their picks. Very, very near and dear to the hearts of the Big Ugly Sports crew. So, you want to make sure you stay tuned for that. So, let's start with talking a little college football from this past weekend. Obviously, you've got the Georgia-Mississippi State game, but what maybe are some games that jumped out from y'all? Maybe some takeaways from the weekend. You've got Ohio State, Oregon in a close game, Tennessee, Florida. There was LSU, Ole Miss, just a bunch of close games. Friday night, any headlines jump
Friday
out?
Friday night or Saturday night?
Saturday.
Okay.
the one that I enjoyed because I hate Ohio State so much was them losing to Oregon. That was good to me.
Yep. I can't stand them either.
What about you, Raj?
They're all good. I didn't really just sit there and focus in on one. I mean, I think the Ohio State game was, like I said, it was good.
Yeah, I like football. I like football.
I like race cars. You know where that's from?
Eddie.
Yes. But no. No, I mean, Ohio State's, it's good they lost. I think that was maybe my pick to make it to the Final Four championship. So I don't like that they lost for that reason, but
Well, that's still in the cards.
it is. But no, I mean, I didn't really think there was like one that really stood out to me.
So, as we sit here today, well, before we even asked that, now that y'all said Hoodie, shout out to Eddie and the crew. They, the middle school football team, having a pink out tonight for to fight breast cancer against Vidalia at home. Last regular season game. Winner is in the playoffs and loser goes home. And it's against Vidalia and Hight. You know you got that blood in your blood. So even at middle school football, we want to beat Vidalia.
Yeah, so, can't stand them
engines. So good luck to Eddie and drop me some bread with a nines.
We go, baby. Yeah, we go roll, baby. Yeah.
Hey man, we really got them schemed up. That's what he told me. I mean, yeah, we got them schemed up. Like I'm just really impressed with how we can do things, what we do on offense.
But if you go there, you look at huddle and you see all the down and distance and the play call, I'm gonna drop some bread. Where you at? Right there.
Right there.
Over there. Over there. Hey, don't shoot. Got it. Down there.
Oh man,
good Call of Duty moment.
People that don't play, have never played Call of Duty, don't get it. Do y'all remember during COVID?
Oh man,
how like just clocking in?
Dude, that was the time to be alive.
I will say that the funniest thing though about all of that is because you would always get on late, and it would be me, Chill, Merk, and Whit, and we would see Junkyard Dogs online, and we'd all get up. We're like, I'm not playing anymore.
I played so much and literally never got better.
Same. And it was always, because there was 5 of us and there was 4 spots, it was always kind of a fight so you could get there because you knew Whit and Merk were going to be there. Like,
they're going to grind.
Their spots weren't going to be open. So it was really 3 fighting for 2.
Right.
And I was the worst of all of us.
No, I tell you were better than Fat Phil.
Yeah, Phil was there.
Plus, I wasn't scared. Like, Phil thought he was going to die in real life if he died in the game. He'd sit in the corner and not do anything.
Yeah, that 100% happened that one game. We were like down to the final 4 or 5, and I was playing with Whit and Phil. Whit dies. I'm alive. We're sitting in a house. Philip's sitting in the corner, right? This team comes in and absolutely destroys me. They don't even get a shot up. I can't even hit the button. Right there, I'm already dead. Instead of Philip coming in to revive me or help, the team's already left the house. Philip is sitting in the corner, and I'm like, Philip, are you there? He's like, yeah. I'm like,
he's whispering.
Yeah, he's whispering. I'm like, why didn't you help me? He's like, well, I didn't want to get killed. I'm like, dude, the only way we're going to win is we have to fight the other team.
He was just going to ride it out right there in that closet.
He sat right there in the corner, and he got down to like the final 2, and they came in there and just knifed him to death. Like, I'm not bad.
Minus obviously the sicknesses that came along with COVID and the people that may or may not have, passed from it, all the seriousness with that. But what?
May or may not.
No, I wasn't laughing at. I was laughing at something else. I was thinking
people
about
did. So I don't want to. People did suffer from that. So I don't want to overlook that. But what I'm saying is, as far as our Call of Duty time, will we ever have a better time? Because you got to think, you couldn't go anywhere. I mean, kids to bed early, and
I really think I took years off my life because I would stay up till about 3 or 4 in the morning playing, and then I'd have to get up at 7 and watch kids all day by myself.
Yep.
Yeah, that was tough.
You get that text about what time y'all trying to drop in? Like 8:30.
Oh man, those some good Call of Duty days there.
That was some great time.
Pat, nobody loved it more than Pat Jordan.
Lived for it. Still does.
And he was pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yep. All right, so back to some college football. As it sits today, who is the best team in college football? As we sit here right now,
you'd have to say, based on just up to this point, Texas deserves to be number 1.
I saw Reese Davis do an interview yesterday, and I'm not going to get it all right because it was like on a reel on Facebook, but excuse me, he was basically saying like he believes in Texas. However, they hadn't seen anything obviously like Georgia yet, and he said their 3 games, I guess he said, against Power 5 conferences were against a transfer sophomore quarterback that was making his 2nd career start and 2 true freshman quarterbacks. And the most prolific passing attack they've seen was from UTSA. So to say that they haven't played anybody, but at the same time they've done what they were supposed to do in those games. Which I think could make for a great test for them and for Georgia this weekend. Roger, who you think's the front runner as we sit?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to look at Texas, but I mean at the same time, I think that Georgia's still, they've got the guys in place to be there. I think Alabama's window is just kind of shot. Just because, I think,
They only got one loss.
Yeah, but I think they showed so much against Georgia that a lot of other people are going to be able to scheme around what they do. Milrose kind of looked whatever. I think a team to look out for that could get hot, and they had a big win last week, would be LSU. I think that's one to look out for.
How many losses do they have? One.
They lost to USC the first game of the season, which under Brian Kelly they've lost the first game and then end up being really good. So I think that's a team.
That was a big win last week.
Yeah. So I think but right now, I think it's probably Texas. Oregon's got to be the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But I just have a hard time believing in Oregon.
Clear that gullet now.
That's what your truck sounds like now. That junk hanging off the back. That muffler.
I fixed it. Then I fixed it.
That boy Hardware Hight fixed it.
He is Hardware Hight. He can do anything. He's a man.
He is.
He can fix anything. He can put in his own sprinklers.
Boys, they got YouTube. There ain't nothing I can't do.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. Move on to the next segment, please.
That's what I was trying to get to.
That's for Hardware Hight.
Yeah. So, staying with college football, does Ole Miss now having 2 losses, does a team like a Ole Miss or let's say LSU or a Georgia, these teams that are in the SEC, Tennessee, now everybody just got 1 loss, Alabama, is a 2-loss SEC team still in the hunt?
Yeah.
So what because obviously you could sit here and argue right now that all those teams that I just named, Tennessee, Ole Miss, LSU, Georgia, Alabama, you got Texas, obviously, that they're all arguably 6 of the top 12 teams, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. What if they're all sitting there with multiple losses?
Well, let's look at
could
Georgia.
happen?
If Georgia loses to Texas, and they win out the rest of the year, they beat Tennessee, who might, be undefeated when they play or whatever. I think Georgia is a team that should still be in consideration to get in the top 12. If you were to look at the national landscape of college football, who would really want to play Georgia?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody that would want to sign up, even if Georgia's sitting at 10-2 or 9-3, that would want to play them. And same thing. Even I said Alabama. I think they're going to be a team that shouldn't make it because I don't think at the end of the season they're going to be as good. But if they're sitting at 10-2, 9-3, who really wants to sign up to play Bama either? So, like you said, they're some of the best teams in college football in that conference. I think your top few teams should be able to get in.
I saw a stat. This is the first time a top 10 team has seen 2 other top 10 teams on the road since 1996. And we know that Georgia's schedule is difficult. Mm-hmm. But that kind of puts it in perspective. Don't do that.
Hold on. Their schedule has not been very difficult the last few years.
First of all, they play in the SEC, so that's
I don't give a
difficult.
crap. Their schedule has not been difficult. This year is very hard, 100%.
No, it is very hard.
Right.
But it's up to this point, it's been it's above average difficult.
No, it has not.
Sure it has. Look it up.
Then pull it up, Hight.
I don't want to. I already know it. I don't need
you do?
to.
Yeah. So please give me last
computer
year.
brain over here. I have it.
Their schedule has not been that hard over the last.
I didn't say it had been really hard. I said it had been above average difficulty.
You said that at the beginning. You were like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Because you're acting like they play a pile of cupcakes.
In comparison to the other schedules that other teams have played, it has not been that hard.
Do you know why other teams' schedules are difficult? It's because they have to play Georgia, and Georgia makes their schedule difficult.
Right. Because Georgia plays all the teams in the SEC West. My bad.
All right. In 2021, Georgia played the 10th toughest schedule in the country. 2020.
Not good.
10th?
6th in the SEC. So in comparison
to other,
but in comparison to other schools,
you know what that just shows you is that the
come
SEC,
out of the Hight. Take that jacket off.
Yes, it's a lot of stupidity. A lot of stupidity over there on that.
Yeah, they're mid in the SEC,
but top 10 in the country.
Yeah, because the best teams are. I agree. The best teams are in the SEC. But if you look at who they're playing within the SEC. If you look at who they're playing within the SEC, it's mid-tier.
There's no way he's this dumb, Chill. There ain't no way. There ain't no way. Number 10 over. Bro, that's so mid. That's so mid.
And who is that including? Is that including going into the playoffs?
I mean, it just overall, there's the 10th toughest schedule.
Yeah,
in the
you're right,
country.
because they do play in the SEC. But if you look at the teams they played within the SEC,
The people that are listening are going to say, God, I miss
Okay.
Raji being a dummy on this show.
if you look at the teams that they played within the SEC, it was mid because they're playing the Mississippi States, the Arkansas. The SEC East was not very good. You've even acknowledged that. The SEC East was not very good up until really this year, because Florida has not been very good. Tennessee was down. South Carolina hasn't been very good. So everybody in the SEC East who they were playing every single year was not very good. And they didn't
What did you say they were last year?
Good thing that was 2021, idiot. You were not even listening.
2021? 10th overall?
Yeah, if I read that right, I couldn't really tell.
You did.
Of course you did.
10th, and then
Go look up.
But I will keep in 2020. Now, based on this, in 2022, the 23rd overall and 13th in the SEC. 2023, 31st overall. See, and I don't believe they had the last in the conference toughest schedule.
But still,
But still, that shows right there. They're not playing the best teams in the SEC. That shows that.
They're 23rd in the country. How many teams are in the country playing
you
college
have
football?
to.
I said above average.
So you're going to compare. There's 128 to 130 teams. That
If Georgia played themselves, their strength of schedule would go up a lot. True or false?
True.
Thank you.
Okay, look at the teams that they didn't have to play. That's a stupid argument.
The SEC
if every team had to do that, if Ohio State had to play themselves, their schedule would go up. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense.
If Florida State played themselves, would their strength of schedule increase?
This year last.
Their strength of schedule would not increase.
And what happened last year when FSU played Georgia? Let me check.
We're really going to go back to that?
I just did.
That's another stupid.
Here's what we're gonna go there though. But we got to take a quick commercial break. So y'all get your ears ready. Y'all get your notes ready, and let's dive in here. Y'all hang with us. We'll be right back.
In the game of life, your choice of banks can make the difference between a championship performance and a trip to the showers. Since 1905, Bank of Dudley's been Middle Georgia's hometown banking team with a solid roster of banking products offering competitive rates and online services that help you cross your financial goal line. Come experience true relationship banking. Local people, local decisions, local banking. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Dogs.
This is Brad Meeks, owner of Brian's Giant Subs. Thanks for listening to the Big Ugly Sports Podcast. Come see us today to grab your favorite sub. 1632 Veterans Boulevard in the Oaks Shopping Center, Dublin, Georgia.
For all your HVAC needs, please call Elite Comfort Solutions. We specialize in commercial and residential HVAC. The number is 833-483-HVAC, and the website is www.elitecomfortsolutions-inc.com. Call for a free quote today.
Big Peach Car Wash, located on Highway 80 across from Walmart in Dublin. Coming this fall. I hadn't washed my truck in 6 years. I'm breaking that streak this fall.
Welcome back to the one and the only Big Ugly Sports Show. Again, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. You heard it on the first end of the first segment. The things you've been missing is the disagreements between Hight and Rogi, and we have one, and I love it, and I've gassed it up. And so, Hight, do you want to continue? I see you got your notes out over there. And
Well, I was just looking at something we were talking about earlier about the playoffs and who would get in. I was just going back over the seeding criteria, but
I did hear you tossing the word idiot. Like you said, there's a lot. It made you come out of your jacket. It's just...
Well, yeah. I mean, we all know Roger's stupid, and he's biased against UGA. And so he just doesn't want to...
I love how you just waved him into his own place.
Well, I just wasn't sure.
That is typical of you. This is his place that we're getting used to. That you're just like, yeah, come on in. Yeah, go make yourself at home.
So our guest picker who will be coming on to segment 3 just entered his room right here.
And boy, does he look sharp. Look at them socks. My goodness.
My gosh. Ripping hard with the Bank of Dudley right here. Loyal sponsor there. So, But continue, Hight. Just
all right. Just to kind of review the highlights here. Roger's an idiot. Georgia's good. And there we are. And they have a tough schedule.
And you know what makes it hard too for Rogi compared to when we first started the show is his argument the whole time was Georgia had not won anything. Florida State, is
hey, what have you done for me lately? I haven't won this year.
And
last year.
His passion for since Florida State's been terrible and Georgia's been good has really just went down.
I mean, Florida State was good last year.
Not good enough.
No, not
Neither was Georgia because they didn't make the playoffs either. So,
Well, yeah,
but
what happened when they went head to head?
who cares? Who cares? If
Georgia
we're
fans do. I
We
can
still,
say.
they've been in a tailspin ever since.
Meanwhile, FSU they made that plaque or whatever it was.
That was dumb. That was really
celebrating their accomplishments from last season. Put all the scores for every game except the Orange Bowl.
That was dumb. So,
Because they saying that game shouldn't have happened.
Y'all and UCF are the same, claiming national championships.
well, good thing they didn't claim a national championship. They've actually won national championships. But good try. Their stupid comment.
Man, they suck.
All right, we at the end of this segment, heading into the next, we'll talk some more college football. But I wanted to hear out, and I heard this argument on sports radio, so this is just not an absurd question I'm bringing up. It's legitimate from some of the people, I guess, that are participating. But I need you to listen in, Hight. So the 29, I think it was, NFL Hall of Fame inductees. The initial list for this year came out, and I think they'll end up knocking it down to a single digit amount. But Robert Kraft, Patriots owner, is on that initial list, and apparently he's been over the last several years been basically begging to get on it. He's been sending. Now this is all what I heard. He's been sending like random packages stuff to like care packages, if you will, to people that are on the committees, and Jerry Jones is already in it. Well, Robert Kraft's resume as far as wins and things like that are far superior to Jerry Jones, and so Robert Kraft has been essentially begging to get in and before he dies. He's in his 80s now or whatever, and so he's on the original list. My question is he a Hall of Fame coach? And the reason that the people were saying that
Owner?
I meant owner, sorry. The reason that the people were saying he's not a shoe-in is because of Spygate and Deflategate, two of the biggest NFL scandals, and he was behind both of them, and that's one of the reasons.
How was he behind them? Like,
those were that's his team. So it falls under him. So
yeah, he's Hall of Famer. I don't care about those things.
Like you, I mean, even if he knew about it, because things like that, it's okay. Just cheating.
Nah, I mean, I'm sure everybody cheated at some point and done something wrong.
But he was caught. Well, in that case, you've got people doing the Michigan thing. Everybody does that probably. You probably got people stealing signs and going everywhere, and they just happen to get caught.
Well, Michigan thing's different.
How?
Because what's the guy's name? Harbaugh actually knew about all the things. There ain't no way Robert Kraft knew all the stuff was going on.
Robert Kraft is in.
Robert Kraft is.
Now he will visit a massage parlor. Now he will do that.
Him and Deshaun Watson hang out together.
Yep.
Anyways, I think he knew. That dude knew exactly what was going on.
No.
Okay. So hold on. So by that, you're going to sit here and tell me, right? Let's use Mr. Hill here as an example, right? If there's a major thing that's going on at the middle school, like something was going on, you're going to sit here and tell me that he's going to have no idea what's going on about it?
There's so many things he don't know about. I see it all the time. He's clueless.
Hold on, major.
He's clueless. He don't know.
So let's compare it. So if you're taking the milestones and there's a testing infraction, he doesn't know about it?
Yeah.
Well, so he does. That's a major thing that's going on.
No, he don't know about it.
Oh, okay.
He's not over tested.
But hold on. You're using.
So you're telling me that you don't. It doesn't
Mr.
matter.
Waldrop.
Hold on. You don't
use Mr. Waldrop. He's the actual boss. I'm just a.
Well, you're pretty close. You're pretty close.
But Kraft is the boss.
Right.
Now,
Waldrop is the boss.
did tell me that you were equal to Mr. Waldrop.
I've never once ever said that. Look how stupid you look.
I've heard him say that too.
Yeah, now you're letting stupid rub off on you right here.
But anyways, okay, yeah. So you're telling me that Mr. Waldrop would have no idea about a test infraction during a milestone?
Mr. Waldrop's a lot sharper than Chuck. So I'm sorry.
We're talking about Robert Kraft, idiot.
He's deflecting his point.
He knows he's wrong. That's exactly because you know that you're wrong.
No, there are things that occur at every job that the bosses don't know about.
But something
this is major. Yeah, okay.
He knew about it after the fact. He found out about it. Hey, Robert, we're going to deflate these footballs. You good with that? No, that don't happen.
What about the other one where they were spying on, had cameras and stuff still? I mean, he knows.
Hold on. No, we got crews over here. Somebody mismanages millions of dollars. Are you gonna have an idea about? Are you gonna have an idea about that?
Well, eventually you will.
Probably he's going to.
Eventually, yeah, but that's how they got to millions because they didn't know about it originally.
That's dumb, Hight.
So you're telling me that you think Robert Kraft willingly participated and said it like greenlit? Hey, green light, go ahead with that.
I think that Robert Kraft and Jerry Jones are very similar. Now Kraft obviously lets his people do his job, but if you think about it, him and Belichick didn't get along at the end. That's why Brady left. Like Kraft wanted to keep Brady, he didn't really want to keep Belichick, whatever, right? So they left. Kraft is very involved. He's a very involved owner.
He's a Hall of Famer. I mean, that's my answer. You ask me my answer, that's the answer. He's a Hall of Famer. Pete Rose should have been a Hall of Famer. Now he's passed. He's not in. That's a travesty. I hate to see people that deserve to win. Mark McGuire should be in the Hall of Fame. Sammy Sosa, Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds, Hall of Fame. Kurt Schilling, Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens, Hall of Fame.
So that was again, and this is just what I heard on sports radio. This was a guy that was talking that actually has a vote for Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, and he said that if he had a vote in NFL, not only would Robert Kraft not get in, Tom Brady wouldn't get in, because in his argument was Tom Brady knew about Deflategate, was suspended by the NFL for violating it. Because he cheated, so he shouldn't get in. Meanwhile, you've got Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, who were never even suspended by Major League Baseball for what they did, and they can't get into the Hall of Fame.
I mean, they should just listen to me. Let them all in.
But do you see any side of that argument? Like, do you see where that guy's coming from, or do you think Tom Brady's a Hall of Famer regardless? Like, not
regardless, he's in. Okay. I mean, same thing with Pete Rose. I mean, look, who cares what Pete Rose did as a manager? He's not getting in as a manager. He's getting in as a player. I mean, Charlie Hustle, look at his stats. Undeniable.
And he'll never know now.
Bless his heart. R.I.P. Too soon.
Okay.
Okay. Y'all don't like Pete?
That's the only one that can say bad news and smile. R.I.P.
I mean,
too soon, be grinning.
I don't really care about. I'm not a huge baseball fan, so.
Well, I mean, just circling back.
You think Tom Brady should be in, but
yeah, but
this is coming from a guy who has this is someone who has a vote, just not in NFL. So you got to think other people may feel the same way about it.
My argument with that is Tom Brady left and went somewhere else and still won the Super Bowl.
And was still deflating footballs or no?
I mean, nobody knew about it. Robert Kraft knew about it. That was the difference. I don't think he was deflating footballs.
Allegedly.
I did read when I was just Googled that there was no proof, though most believe that Robert Kraft knew about Spygate and Deflategate or one or the other. I can't remember what it said. There's no proof.
Be in charge.
I could see, it's to me more logical that he would know about Spygate than Deflategate.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
But I still think that he knows, even if you take Deflategate out, even if he knew about Spygate, he was involved in that. He knew about it. Now, he could try to cover it up, whatever, but he was involved and he knew.
So you think when it came to light that this happened, Robert Kraft was not completely caught off guard by it?
No.
By the Spygate and Deflategate?
No. I do have something I want to bring up if we have time.
We do.
So I saw a...
It is your show. We can make anything about you.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It says, this is College Football Talks. A group of investors and ex-Disney executives have met with 30 athletic directors to pitch a new 70-school football league. And they would basically eliminate all games against the group of 5 and the FCS opponents and expand the playoffs, having top programs play head-to-head more frequently. Everybody would be under one media rights package, and then it gives a breakdown of what the schools would be, and it's
essentially the Power 4 schools now.
Well, the old Southwest Conference, the SEC as we used to know it, pretty much minus Arkansas, Big 10, Big 8, Pac-10, Big East, and ACC, and that would be. And I don't know. I just kind of wanted to see what y'all thought about that.
First off, is that sort like a legit?
Yes, I don't know. The source is Ross Dellinger, and it's
he's accredited.
Got to check.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't get fired up when Georgia's playing. Some Rudy team. I understand. It really benefits that other team more so than it. So I think the thing that it would hurt was every other smaller college football program there is.
Yeah.
From a financial standpoint.
Well, and that's one thing. And this may be what Kirby says to make it sound better. But it is mutually beneficial to play those schools. Georgia is less likely to lose the game. They're more likely to be able to rest their good players and get younger guys reps. But on the other side of that, those teams get $1 million, payday, and so it is good. So you would hate to see that go away because kids would be less opportunity to play ball. However, as a football fan,
yeah, it didn't say anything about less games, right?
No, it didn't. I mean, could you imagine Georgia's going to play Michigan State and Oregon and Pitt. I mean, their bad games would be Pitt or something like that.
State, yeah. ACC teams.
Yeah, whatever. And so I didn't mean it like that. But Roger, what do you think? I mean, even if this doesn't happen, it's interesting to talk about and think about.
I mean, how would they do the playoffs? Like, that would be one thing. I mean, it's not like college basketball. You've got 68 teams that get in, and there's 200 colleges that play, right? So, and they're saying they're going to expand the playoffs. We're already limiting the number of teams that are going to play because there's 70 instead of 140. And now you're going to expand that. So I don't know. So if you're a 8-4 team that you're getting in, does an 8-4 team deserve to be able to play for a national championship? No.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess they got to account for if you're playing a lot harder teams, you're more likely to lose.
But you would probably more likely you would see, like a 9-3 or more 10-2s, like the low seeds. I could, and I hadn't done the math to work it out where how many 10-2 teams or whatever could you'd end up with, but it just, to me, playing more exciting. Like this weekend, Georgia playing Texas.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. And then you go back to Georgia and Alabama, fired. I mean, it was just so much fun.
Okay, but look at it as a coach or these players. Like, you're having to bring, and I get it, that's part of the game, but you're having to get fired up, do all these things week after week after week after week. Like, if you're a player,
I don't care about that.
Well, of course you don't, because you didn't play, so you don't like.
Roger did.
Your cup of coffee as a preferred walk-on long snapper at West Georgia University qualifies you to tell me what a high-level D1 athlete goes through.
What I'm saying is, I know what it at least looks like through a week when you're playing on a Saturday, having to travel back.
First of all, you were at West Georgia. There are no big games.
Okay, where did you play at?
East Lawrence.
Oh, exactly. So nobody gives a shit.
I was on them intramural fields over at University of Georgia.
So what I'm saying is, when you got these teams that are having to play, what I'm saying is, when you're having to play on a short week, do all this, and then you're having to go from play Texas to play Bama to play Michigan to play Oregon, like, it's a lot on those players. I know you don't care, but I'm saying as a player and as a coach of having to scheme for that, having to get ready, right? Like, that's not a great idea.
Oh God.
It's not. It's a stupid idea.
Dude, so blow because I was talking bad about West Georgia.
I don't give a crap. West Georgia's D1. Hey. West Georgia's D1 now.
Hey, let's go.
So I don't really care.
Wolfpack, baby.
The point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is, but here's you make all these comments. How many times have you had to really go in and scheme?
That's not relevant at all.
Yes, it was terrible on NCAA too.
I said as a fan, I don't give a rip. And here's another thing.
So I'm telling
the coaches are making millions and millions of dollars. The players are now making millions of dollars. They should be responsible enough. They're going to have to step up to the challenge if that does happen and games are more difficult. I mean, that's part of it. If you don't like it, don't do it. That's just
18-year-old kids, but yeah. They're not in the NFL. They're not in the NFL.
I tell you what they're doing is making a pile of money.
Good. They were already getting paid before they started doing NIL.
I agree with you on that. I don't care that they're getting paid. But I'm sitting here as a college football fan. As a college football fan, I don't care that it's more difficult for them. It's difficult already. They signed up for difficult. That's not relevant at all to me.
I don't like the idea.
Well, and I respect your opinion. I'm not going to get angry about it like you are, but he is very passionate.
We are the ones that are always, you bring me energy, bring energy.
Yeah. Hey,
so we're bringing energy.
I love it.
All I was wanting you to go is here because I know y'all used to pack it up.
Here.
Raj, you make it hard. Remember, I don't need to have to edit stuff. You need to make it easier on me.
Hey, you going to blur that finger?
I don't know how to do that. It's going to be tough. So,
What's crazy is my 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, and 8-year-old, I've been having to, for the last 2 months, whip them continuously for double burden.
No, they learned it double burden?
Yes, they learned it on the school bus, I guess. And then now they done brought it home. My little 3-year-old girl, I saw her put them little baby middle fingers up.
So they're not doing one, it's 2.
Oh, yeah.
I hope they did that to you when you tell them to go brush your teeth.
The boys taking the neighborhood.
I say, y'all better brush your teeth. They'll end up like mine. They run in there and brush their teeth.
Yeah, but yours might not be dirty. They can't do anything about the bottom row.
Well, they don't know that. They can't put that together yet.
They think dirty makes that happen.
Yeah.
So, all right, it is time for our final commercial break. On the other side of that, we're going to have our special guest picker. So y'all make sure, let me find it. Y'all make sure you hang with us.
Thanks a lot, Reggie Howard, teaching my kids how to shoot double birds.
We will be right back.
Bank of Dudley is proud to sponsor the Big Ugly Sports Show. Wherever you're listening to your favorite sports show, you can also be banking with your favorite bank. Bank of Dudley offers mobile and online banking platforms to make managing your money easy. Get on that Bank of Dudley bus. Bank of Dudley since 1905. Member FDIC.
We're back. Welcome back to the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. We are in our final segment here, and if you're watching on YouTube, you see the man, the myth, the legend. But if you're listening, our guest picker for today has joined us, and he is Bank of Dudley, and he is Big Ugly Sports Studio. So we can't express our gratitude enough, Mr. Josh Cruz, for allowing us to come in here, get out of Jay's podunk grain bin, and upgrade to this luxury.
It's so much better here.
I mean, it feels better. You sweating or anything? Height, you good on temp?
So
Need me to adjust the thermostat? You good?
And I could nap. I could lay on the floor here. I won't get ate by ants like I was at Jay's. Only thing is I can't spit on the floor in here like I did at Jay's place.
Mr. Cruz, how you doing today?
Great. Early.
It is early. Before we dive into our college football picks and whatnot, we do want to talk about the White Trash Bash from a week ago. A little week ago. We mentioned it on the last show, but just talk to us about what it feels like to be winners and just to be good at what you do.
Well, this year wasn't winners.
Yeah, but you won it. You had to pass the trophy along, but you have been one of the few winners that have won it there. So what does it take to win one of those things?
Be present.
Me and Jay have been doing that.
I'm about to say, Jay's present every time. He never wins.
Jay's going to eventually win one day. If he'll eventually just leave Opie out.
So it's Opie's fault?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. What does he do wrong? Do you know, or you don't want to tell? You don't want to give it away?
Opie or Jay?
Opie.
He shows up.
He brought last year. He brought the bad Boston butt, right? That smelled bad.
Left it out all night.
This year I show up. Right after Opie loses, and I get there, and essentially the grill's on fire. And,
absolutely, that's right. I forgot about that.
And so that's when Cruz starts telling me how Opie left the situation in just turmoil. So.
Well, in Opie's defense, I will say he did cook a really good brisket during Hurricane when me and my family went up there, and he treated us good and that brisket was really good.
So he's come a long way. He don't dry it out like
it wasn't near as dry as it normally was.
Okay. Still room for improvement, or?
Oh yeah, always room for improvement. Who got dead last at the White Trash Bash again?
Oh man! All right, y'all ready to talk some college football?
Yeah. I got a question on these picks. I think there was one week I didn't submit any picks, so I just get 0-10.
I've got picks from you every week.
There was one week I know I didn't send any.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I've got picks from you every week. So
we can.
The numbers are screwed.
We can.
I don't think they are.
Deflategate, Spygate. Well, I'm going to go through them.
I thought you said I was 8-2 last week, Joe.
You were, but no, you were 8-2 the week before.
Okay.
I tell you who was not 8-2. Who was the opposite of 8-2.
So let me update you where we are. Our guest picker last week was Mr. Reed Waldrop, and he comes in at 6-4, and so 6-4. Him and Josh Rico Gay are sitting atop our guest pickers list at 6-4. So Still room for someone to overtake that, but they're sitting on top. We did not have a show the week before due to the hurricane, so on the set last week was Mike Thompson, and so I let his picks from last week go into the open week that we had, and he pulled an astounding 2-8 last week. So he immediately...
Thank God he can do softball better than pick games.
He has last place currently sewed up in the guest pickers. But I went back and added the 2-week totals from the bus gang as well. Coming off a 6-4 week last week, Opie actually has the best record now at 31-29. A 6-4 record last week, Rogi sits at 30-30. A 3-7 record last week, Hight sits at 30-30, and a 5-5 week from Chill, sitting at 26-34, holding up dead last. So, Mr. Cruz, it's wide open. I mean, do you feel good about 7-3?
I think I did this last year, and I think I was 1-9 probably. So I'm not really going to say much.
Which again, some could argue is just the same as 9-1 as far as difficulty to pull off. So that's what some like me would argue. All right, let's talk some games here. Rogi, we'll start with you. Got a little ACC contest here. Got the Miami Hurricanes -4 going to Louisville.
And I think Miami's got to worry about Louisville as a speed bump. They got a huge game next week. As far as the Seminoles coming into town. I'm just kidding. No, so, obviously Miami had the game. It wasn't last week, was it? Against Cal? Was that the week? That was last week, wasn't it?
Last week.
Yeah, so, going across the country.
Like this past week? Or was it the week before? Because it was when game day was airing. Where was game day last week?
I don't remember. I think it was
Oklahoma, Oregon. Yeah, so it was the week before.
Whenever it was. So, yeah, I mean, and I think that was the last game they played. I don't think they played last week. So, that was a tough out going across the country. They ended up coming back. I think Miami's too talented. I think they go to Louisville.
Are they undefeated still?
Yeah. I think they go up and cover the spread. Was it -4?
-4.
Yeah, I think they go up and win by at least a touchdown.
Cruz, what you got?
It's going to be a high-scoring game, in my opinion. Cam, quarterback.
Cam Ward.
Yeah, I think unless somebody steps up, he's front runner in my opinion for Heisman right now. I got Miami covered.
Listen to this before we even go any further. Miami's sitting at 6-0 now. This is their remaining schedule: at Louisville versus Florida State versus Duke, at Georgia Tech versus Wake Forest,
trap
at
game.
Syracuse.
Trap game. Georgia Tech's a trap game.
But either way you cut it, I mean that's
11-1.
Yeah, I mean they literally control their own destiny. And at 11-1, I mean they probably got room to lose one in there. And none of those teams are ranked. So some team like that could easily walk in where, like I seen, a good SEC team could have a couple hiccups and not get in. So, Hight.
I'm gonna take Miami. I mean, it's strange to me that the spread's that close. But Vegas knows. So, but I still think they'll cover.
Yeah, I got Miami as well. I think Cam Ward is just too talented. Louisville is 4-2, so they're obviously a good team. But I don't consider what's it say here, L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium to be a tough place to play over in Louisville. So I will take Miami as well to cover.
Nick Saban said Vanderbilt Stadium wasn't that difficult either, and see what happened.
He did say that. He didn't have no problems with it. Speaking of Saban, Hight will lead us off here. Alabama, who's lost to Vandy, played a tough one last week. Now they're -2.5 at a Tennessee team who also struggled last week.
Well, the only thing I could figure is the hangover from the Georgia game cost them versus Vanderbilt. And obviously, and Roger brought up some good points too about Alabama. They showed everything they had, and people are scheming against that. But you got to believe that they're still talented enough. Shouldn't have lost that game versus Vanderbilt. But then maybe there was some hangover from the Vanderbilt loss for South Carolina. I don't know. I mean, Roger, as a former Division I athlete, like how much does that play in? Like for a high level guy like you, can you relate?
Keep going.
Sorry. So anyway,
he is the only one that can relate.
Passionate too. And anyway, so I think I'll take Tennessee.
Cruz?
Which team's going to show up for Alabama? Which team's going to show up for Tennessee? That
is the question.
$1 question.
Yep.
So my buddy Yank is from Tennessee, and you'll kind of see with my picks. I had to relate them back to Yank don't ask for anything, but he did say at 3:30 Saturday, we're watching this game. He said, if not, I won't be here. I said, got it.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Tennessee all the way.
Raj?
Yeah, I like Tennessee too. You look at Alabama, the weakness that they've had is in the secondary, and Tennessee's strength has been able to throw the ball. I think they'll be able to run the ball enough to kind of keep them off balance. And they've got the best defensive end, probably at least one of the best defensive end in the nation. Tennessee does. I can't remember. It's like number 21 or 25, but he'll be a first round pick. And I think they're going to be able to do enough to keep Milroe make throws, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it consistently. And that atmosphere will be electric. So I'm going to take Tennessee.
This is a tough one for me because I do, like, in my mind, the last few years I've just seen Tennessee as this team that scored 40, 50 a game, like at the drop of a hat they're scoring. But the last 3 weeks, they've scored 25, 14, and 23 against Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Florida. So I don't know what they got going on. Heupel's a very good offensive play caller, but I'm gonna go with Bama. I think Bama on the road. They've had a rough couple of weeks. I just think they figure it out. I think their defense will be enough to slow down Tennessee's passing attack, and so I'll take Bama.
I think a storyline that's kind of being forgotten about, and I think it was the Vandy game, but the way that the kid acted,
13.
And that's still being talked about. Was it Malachi Moore? I think or something like that. But that's still being talked about. They're still talking about as DeBoer, because DeBoer's not Saban. Obviously, like there's the way that the discipline is nowhere near.
Well, and the culture there has changed drastically, really quickly.
It has,
and it's been more player friendly, I guess you would say, as opposed to the way Saban had it, and it was. His way or the highway.
Well, and DeBoer, that comment he made about the stadium, did y'all see that? When he said, he's like, no disrespect, but I coached at Washington. We had places that were way louder than Knoxville.
Oh, I did hear him. I did see that.
Yeah.
I thought that when I saw that, I thought it was one of those made up comments.
No, it was true.
That was a dumb thing to say.
Ooh, well, you're about to see, buddy.
I need to change my pick.
It's your pick. It's already set in stone, bud. Can't change that one.
Oh, it's already set in stone.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll roll with Alabama. All right, Hight, we got Notre Dame minus 10.5 traveling to the A to take on Georgia Tech.
I'll take Georgia Tech. I like that spread. Yep. Yeah, I like that spread.
Tech win or no?
I don't feel that good about it, but I like the 10.5.
Okay. Raj?
Yeah, I'm going to take Tech as well. Tech plays their best game when they're unranked against ranked teams. They still haven't been able to figure it out. Notre Dame haven't been able to figure it out with Riley Leonard at quarterback. He's been inconsistent. And I think Tech, again, I think they're one of those teams that could be a speed bump from a lot of teams going in. So I'm going to take Tech as well.
Cruz?
Notre Dame's won 4 straight games. My brother is an avid Georgia Tech fan. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, very. Since we've been little.
Not a Georgia fan?
Oh, he'll pull for Georgia.
Okay.
He's not that kind. But if Georgia Tech's on, he's watching them.
What about a Tech-Georgia game? Tech?
He's Tech's on. Yeah, he's
okay.
Way Tech. He's riding high this year. He ain't come out. He's not that guy that's going to come out and brag about them, but I can feel it. I'm Tech too, and to could be an upset. And I'm with Rogi on that. There could be an upset right there.
I'm rolling with you. I'm going Tech for the win. I think they beat Notre Dame. I don't think Notre Dame is that good, and I think Tech is, like Roger said, could be a speed bump, could be sneaky team, sneaky good. What's the Hayes King? Is that the quarterback? If he has a good game, I think they could make the upset. Not necessarily a tough place to play at Tech, but still call it an upset. All right, let's go. We'll come back to the Georgia game last, but we got Kentucky +2 coming off a tough loss at Florida. Roger, lead us off.
It's kind of a tough one to pick. De'Eric, I think, had another real big game last week. Great to see a West Orange Raider do big things in college. I think this could be a game where if Florida loses, I think it's possible that Napier might get let go. Just to looking at, because what Florida's record right now is what?
Did I make that game up?
No, yes, sir.
Go to.
Oh, that's not a top 25. That's why. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what Florida's record is right now. So I think they're like maybe 3-3 or something like that.
Hight, you want to go ahead and do your pick while we scroll?
Yeah, I like Kentucky. I like the defense of Kentucky. I believe they're at Jacksonville, right? I'm not Jacksonville. I'm sorry.
It's at Kentucky.
Gainesville.
At Florida. Sorry.
Yes, in Gainesville. Even though it's on the road, I still like Kentucky there.
Cruz.
I'm with Rogi that if Florida loses, I think Billy's gone. What was his name? Mullen. Kentucky contributed to Mullen getting fired as well. Kentucky's won the last 3. The one thing I think Florida's got going for them now, unfortunately, Mertz got hurt last week. Y'all know as good as anybody that swapping back and forth. If you're that guy, if you wanted a quarterback, Langway, I think he's very talented. And now that he knew Sunday, Monday, he was starting. I think that's an advantage for Florida. I'm going with Florida.
Yeah, I think Lagway's legit. I mean, he was the #1 quarterback in the country last year. He's been committed to Florida for a while. But I think, you look at defensively, even if you're playing at home, freshman quarterback, Stoops and company usually do a really good job at Kentucky on defense. I think they'll put enough things in there to confuse him, and I think I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's could be a 17-14 type ugly game, but I'm going to take Kentucky on the road.
Yeah, give me Kentucky as well. I think De'Eric has another big game. I'm rooting for him to have a big game, and I'd be fine with seeing Florida have some more turmoil on there, and Sunbelt Billy's seat getting a little bit warmer. So give me Kentucky. All right, Hight, lead us out here. The game of the week, obviously, you got UGA for the first time in quite some time. I don't really know how long, but they are not the favorite, and it could have changed since when I did these on Sunday.
Well, I said at the beginning of the show.
It's Texas -5 now, but we've got it at 3.5. So,
which one are we locking in?
We got it at 3.5. That's what we're going with. So you got Georgia plus 3.5 at Texas, but the current line is 5.
I really like 5 better than 3.5, but I'm gonna take.
What's your show? We can change it.
I'm gonna take Georgia to win outright anyway. I know that Georgia's had some issues, and I'm not a high level coach. Like I've never had to scheme. Like Rogi has with his 9th grade football team and stuff. But
I'm keeping my mouth shut. But what was y'all's record at East?
When?
A lot of the times when you were coaching.
I was never the head coach like you.
He was the head coach at
Hold on. But hold on. No, if we're going back.
0-7.
He was 0-7 at Toone's Middle.
I'm not talking about being a head coach. You got part of scheming, right? So what was y'all's record?
No, I wasn't a schemer.
Oh, okay.
I'm not smart enough for all that, Rod. But and anyway, so like even though I'm not really I don't really know football like that, as far as watching film and whatever, but I can see that we've had a tough time setting the edge, and our defensive backs have been exposed a little bit. I don't think Carson Beck is getting the credit that he deserves. I think he's better than a lot of Georgia fans are saying, and I really am not down on Bobo like so many people are. I don't, could he be better? Sure, but I mean, we're thinking, well, he's not Todd Monken. I mean, nobody is, or not many people are. Mm-hmm. So anyway, if Isaiah Bond, I believe he's questionable. I looked it up yesterday. He's questionable for the game.
He'll play.
That's a big factor in how things will go. But even if he's limited, that could definitely help Georgia. But I like to believe. I guess because I love Georgia so much, I'm probably a little biased here in my opinion. But I think they're going to win.
Yeah, I'll take Georgia as well. For one, I am a homer. I'll be the first to admit that, but I do think Georgia hadn't played their best game yet, and I really don't even think it'll take their absolute best game to beat Texas. I just think they have to play a complete game, and I believe they will. And it helped. That the line going from 3.5 to 5 means that people were pouring in on Georgia. So there's a reason that line shifted that much, and so it makes people think, well, we need to take Georgia now, but they were already pouring money on that. So, Roger, what you got? Go Dogs.
I'm going to take Texas. I think they're going to win by a touchdown. And the reason I say that, I think the most, I guess, as a Georgia, if I was to be a Georgia fan, the most alarming thing is that they have not.
You can be.
I'm not. Okay. They have not been able to run the ball at all this year. And that is something that Georgia has been known to do, regardless what everybody else is. They've been able to be a physical team and get downhill. So they haven't been able to do that. Defensively, I think that Texas offensive line is very underrated. I think they got 2 guys that will be draft picks. I know they got a left tackle that's going to be, I think the Banks guy is going to end up being probably a top 10 pick. So I think that, they've already had problems setting the edge. The Hight, alluded to the secondary not being very good. And Texas obviously able to throw the ball, even if Quinn Ewers doesn't have a great game. They still got Arch if he gets hurt or whatever. So I think Texas, and I think if it was in Athens, I would 100% take Georgia. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. But I think going on the road, primetime game, like last time a big SEC team came in was Alabama. Texas beat Alabama at home. So I'm going to take Texas to cover and win.
It's going to be a great atmosphere. And I did see where Tate Ratledge's not expected to come back, which would obviously help the offensive line. But the center, Jared Wilson, I think is the name, is supposed to be back. So Bobo can get off the field. Little baby Bobo. What about you, Cruz?
How much time I got to talk about this?
Please.
Because I'm a little agitated. I'm a Georgia fan, diehard Georgia fan. I can recite anything you want me to recite. I get aggravated with Georgia fans, especially the last couple of years. They've been spoiled. There's nothing wrong with Georgia. The expectations, and it's fine to have expectations, but this year Georgia is a prime example of what new college football looks like. With 12-team playoff and the NIL, I think this is going to be a common occurrence from here on out, is focus and turnover roster. I know Georgia's roster did turnover, but the biggest thing Georgia's got going against them right now, they don't have a leader. And y'all look back the last several years, y'all can pinpoint who the leaders were on that football team. And they've got the talent. Nobody is stepping up to the plate. There's nothing wrong with Georgia football. It's just one of those years. I mean, look at all the great football teams over the last 15, 20 years. Georgia lucked up, had a good schedule the last few years. That's why they won all the consecutive games. Yes, however, they were very good.
Thank you, Cruz, for bringing that to attention.
But going back to the run into football, I think the biggest issue is what you didn't bring up about not being able to run the football is the defense is having to stay on the field too long. That's part of not setting edge. They're a little thin, in my opinion, due to NIL and turnover and transfer portal. Say all that to say, it's one of those picks of, I'm going with Texas. If Texas wins, let's say I get one more pick with Big Ugly. Georgia wins, so it's a wash.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win for you.
I'm with you. All right, well, hopefully them dogs can pull it out. It's going to be an exciting game. I'm fired up about it. Can't wait to get over here and watch it. So, but yeah, any closing thoughts, fellas? Cruz, again, man, thank you for allowing us to do this every week out here. It's very nice, and we're looking forward to potentially Thanksgiving week.
Yes.
Brett, you and Mr. Brad Childers cooking us some breakfast. Roger ain't heard about that yet, so he'll definitely be here that week. They're supposed to be throwing down some homemade biscuits and
yes. Oh God, we have
Some good groceries.
Yes, Brad Lloyd.
all right.
God, that's loud.
Hight brings. I turned it down.
Be sure to check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, thebiguglysportshow.com.
Chill, Hight and Rogi, glad you came.
What?
With
Closing thoughts?
I don't have any.
Anything, Cruz?
Hight's an idiot.
What we going
Go Dogs, go Bank of Dudley.
Go Bank of Dudley. As always.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
Go everybody. We do appreciate you tuning in again. Thanks to all of our sponsors for allowing us to do this. And you know what it is. Wherever you at today, whatever you're doing, Hight, tell them what to do.
Get on that bus.
We on that yellow bus and we rolling down your street. Early morning pie, yeah, we got that coffee sipping. 5-star reviews, maybe even a subscription. We a work in progress, always room for improvement. Get up on that bus, it's a movement.